Hey, I just wanted to take a moment to share my custom-built sensory deprivation tank. I started floating about 6 years ago and originally started with a Zen float tank in my apartment. Their first one was garbage. Ended up keeping that for about a year before I sold it. Then we opened up a business in order to be able to purchase 2 of the escape pod float tanks. And those were good for the money. They definitely, I don't feel, were worth it. And they were a little claustrophobic, you know, in a spa setting. People didn't like them. So this was the first one I ended up building. I ended up going with a float room. So I created the float tank basically off of the plans of a cedar hot tub, which you can find anywhere online. You buy these bands here. And those about 100 some bucks a piece. They kind of just sandwich everything together. I ended up doing I burnt the wood after I cut it all, and then did a deck stain over the top of that to help waterproof it. And it's cedar wood, so it's waterproof on its own, but it does pretty well. The salt comes off with some scrubbing. I've just used it for myself a couple times a week, and I haven't cleaned it in a month, so that's about a month's worth of damage there. I have this pipe, it's under construction right now. I have this pipe, it's PVC pipe, same stuff you would use for your filtration system, like I have over there. But what I did was I just cut it right down the middle, all the way down, with some metal cutting shears. And that sits over this ugliness perfectly to cover all that up. And then we got custom ordered a spa cover to fit perfectly over it. I'm getting rid of the spa cover. Since I closed down my business, I brought this into my garage, and the garage is too big, too cold to do a open tank. Let me shut this door here. So for years I've been wanting to do a geodome, which I found on a geodome building website. Between that, getting the calculations off that calculator website apparatus, and watching YouTube videos of other people doing it, it came out pretty dang good. Got it to form all together with no hubs or, you know, extra pieces in between. Did come out 1 inch too small, so instead of sitting perfectly on the lip here, it sits right on the inside. I don't know how that happened. But to counteract that, I'm building this ring. It's a wooden ring lined with shower curtains, the thickest stuff I could find from those. I was gonna order a white PVC pool liner, but I figured this was easier and better. It's upside down now, so this will all be sealed off, and so it will sit on the lip here, and it'll hang off about to here. That way that geodome can sit on the inside of it. And then I was originally thinking of putting a door in the geodome. Cutting out one of these octagons or stop sign looking things and having that open up as a door. After I got it up on here, that plan didn't work out so well. So what I think I'm gonna do is put a hinge on one side and then 2 gas struts, one on each side. And then the whole geodome will just open up like a big clamshell. Also building this, I used Trek snow melting pads, which work amazing, better than any waterbed heater. They have like a 2-year warranty. They have a built-in GFCI. You can get the mats in any sizes. You can get a bunch of small mats, or you can get one large mat. Yeah, they're amazing. They're thicker. They're better than any heater I've seen. Even the ones that came with the escape pod. Better than those ones, and I paid a lot of money for those. I have them hooked up. This is 20 bucks online. Just plug the heating pads into this thing. I have them unplugged right now. but you plug them into there and set your temperature, and it keeps it good enough for me. I mean, it was good enough in my spa setting. It's comparable. I don't notice any difference between this and the escape pod I had. Another cool thing you guys can do with these is these little remotes. They're wireless remotes. They do put off frequency, which some people don't agree with, but it doesn't bother me. I have a button underneath this liner. There it went. So these are really cool. So you can see the button here. And that's to the light. So I have a black liner, just a pond liner, just kind of thrown in there horribly. And then I have clear liner, which is custom made to fit in here. And then I got LED rope lights between the black and the clear liner that run all the way around. They're waterproof lights on their own, but you know, being behind the PVC makes it even more waterproof. And then they're hooked up to a GFCI as well. The snow melting pads are underneath. I got a vinyl flooring, which I blue taped throughout the whole thing, cut out the stencil, and then painted my logo into it, and then peeled up that blue tape and had my logo left. But the vinyl flooring works perfect to cover up at least with my clear liner, to cover up the heaters. If you have a black liner and not all this extra stuff, there's no need for a pool part of the liner. But getting the clear liner and then having a design under it was an amazing idea. Before I had the black liner in my office space, I didn't have the black, it was just the clear, so you could see the wood behind it as well. Show you guys my filtration system. My filtration system is just the one I had off my escape pod. To me, it's a little overkill big, but is that really a bad thing? to know? But for just an in-home tank or an in-home tank, you don't need even half of this, I don't feel like. I mean, I almost feel like you can get one of those in-tech swimming pool pumps with the UV cartridge filter and pump all in one, and they're about $200. I'd never tried one of those, but I've thought a couple times about getting one of those. And for this, it's the Delta UV. I think it's the E20. I'm not sure what my cartridge filter is, and then I got this Panther pump. I had a mag drive pump I ordered, and for some reason it wouldn't work with the system. That was kind of sad. It was like a $1,200 pump. So on the inside of this, to waterproof it, I cut out these panels. You can get them from Lowe's, and they're these plastic, almost like a shower liner. Can't fit that through there, but that'll be on the inside. I'll have these. And that will be on the opposite side of there, but I cut those out perfectly to fill out the whole thing. So on the inside, all these white squares will be white, and the geodome will be on the outside. So yeah, I definitely recommend building your guys' sensory deprivation tank over buying them. You know, I'm kind of disgusted with the float industry in a way. You know, they charge so much more than what their tanks are worth just because they know you're going to be making money off of them. The float industry was amazing years back, and it's gotten so polluted with greedy people just wanting money, which is understandable. You know, everybody wants to make their money, but yeah, one more thing. The flooring in this actually sits about a couple inches off. There's a notch carved in the opposite side of each board, so that flooring fits into that notch. If you look up the sensory deprivation, or if you look up the Cedar hot tub designs, you'll see what I'm talking about there. Yeah, also this tank here is amazing because you could take it down and put it up with one person in just over an hour. My escape pod I had, that was all day to set up one tank, which was 200, 300 bolts. I mean, just completely unnecessary in my opinion. It was an amazing tank, but it definitely, I don't know if I would buy it again. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks.